Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to elaborate on our experience with the traveling exhibition of the Titanic. Over the Halloween weekend, my husband and some friends took me to the Titanic exhibit. And as October 31st was my birthday, we went and had dinner, and then we went to the exhibit. A little bit about the Titanic, as I can go into a large amounts and many videos here on the tube of you have. The Titanic was the largest ship of her time. She did have a sister ship, the Olympic, and on her maiden voyage, she started off at Southampton, then went to Cherbourg, then on to Queenstown, and before she arrived in New York, she struck an iceberg on April 14th, 1912 at 11 p.m. in the evening. In 2 hours and 40 minutes, the Titanic has completely sank, and that was April 15th, 1912. There were 1,517 lives lost and 700 lives saved. One of which, I was told, was a relative of mine. I am still not 100% sure, as the people who have told me this have sadly passed on. But according to the register and the names, my Aunt Burke, great-great-aunt Burke, was one of the people who passed on the Titanic. But again, I can't 100% prove that because the people who have told me that have sadly passed on. So, with more information to come throughout the video, here is my experience at the Titanic exhibit at the National Harbor on October 31st. Our tour started off with how the Titanic was actually constructed in Belfast. This also showed off many of the different aspects that the Titanic had at the time, including some of the actual ticket prices of the Titanic. It did shock me that in 1912, a third-class ticket cost 181 kroners. That would be over $5,000 today. The 180 kroners was also the annual cost of rent for a standard 4-bedroom house back in 1912. So it was very, very surprising. This was one of the watertight door replicas that they had from the Titanic that held back the majority of the water from the 15 bulkheads on the ship. Here we see the telescope from the first class officer William Maddock, who was suspected to see the iceberg of the Titanic. This stained glass window is from the first class smoking lounge. Unfortunately not from the Titanic itself, as a majority of Titanic's photos do come from the sister ship Olympic. Here are some examples of the silver service used in first class on the Titanic. These are again from the Olympic. On the other hand, this deck chair is from the Titanic, still stamped with the seal and its nameplate. The story of Jack and Rose was based loosely off the story of this very own necklace. From passenger Katie Phillips from third class. Again, it was also based off of the Hope Diamond as well. Here is a piece from the first class staircase from the Titanic itself, known to be one of the most beautiful staircases on any ship of the time. This exhibition also has some heartwarming and heartbreaking stories of its passengers, as this wedding ring was the only one recovered from the ship. There were also several examples of the second-class dining hall and what they served, along with third-class sleeping quarters, as you can see here, recreated. It was also stated in the exhibition that the majority of the passengers thought they were in a castle when in third class because of the luxurious accommodations at the time. Moving into the first class accommodations, we see a reproduction of the actual hallway from Deck B. Now, the blue is not historically accurate, but the white and the chandeliers are, as you can see here. The first class reproduction suite that would have been on the Titanic was very well put together and very detailed. As you can see here, there's the lounge that comes with the suite, and then you have the bedroom or the ensuite sleeping quarters. Now again, first class passengers were the only class to have their own bathrooms in their cabins. Second class and third class and steerage had to use a communal bathroom. And here we have a first class dining room place setting, which was recovered from the Titanic. As an example, this would be one person's place setting at the dinner table on the Titanic in first class. First class also had marvelous chandeliers. These are examples that were pulled from the Olympic, as the majority of the Titanic ones did not survive. Her sister ship kindly donated them to the experience. As you can see here, here is some of the wood carvings from the ornate panels within the Titanic, and there is a surviving example, again, from the sister ship Olympic. A majority of the wooden articles were pulled from the sister ship before she went into service during World War I. The exhibition also had a recreation of the iceberg, and you were allowed to touch it. The goal was to see how long you can hold on to it before you had to give up. Given an example of what the survivors and the people who died on the Titanic had to go through that night. The recreation of the wireless room, or the Marconi room, was actually very brilliant. This is where Phillips and Holder Bride sent the signal SOS at the time. They also had a miniature of the mechanics that actually lowered the lifeboats. Near the end of the exhibition, they do start to show more of what the Titanic looks like today. Many scientists state the Titanic will not be there within the next 100 years. Overall, the exhibit was very well put together, and I highly recommend it and a must-do when it comes to your town. Will you go? Welcome back. I know this topic is a little bit of a somber experience, and I do apologize about that. I am hoping to show more videos like this in a vlog style of life experiences. If this is the type of content that you are interested in, please like, follow, share, and follow me along on my other social medias. I'm hoping next week to have another style video, either crafting, cosplay, or life event. So please follow me back again for next week, and we'll see you then. Tschüssi!